G'day punters, welcome to Victims of the Punt. We've got the three Group 2s coming from Rosehill this weekend, headlined by the Hobartville, the Silver Slipper and the Millie Fox, and it's a pleasure to be joined by Mark Shean and Mark Rhoden to preview this card. Mark Shean, I'll start with yourself. What's the forecast looking like here? We've got Rosehill Rail True.
Very hot day at the moment. I think there are some showers predicted this evening though, so just have a question mark over that. But the track should be on the improve through the day anyway, so hopefully the showers miss tonight.
Okay, Mark Rhoden, welcome. Do you dare make a track play prediction for this track at the moment?
I'm hopeful that it's not as leader biased as the last two Rosehill meetings. Now they've been in the 3 and 6 metre positions. We're back to the True. The True can throw up a pretty Wales biased leaderish track. It did so in late November when it was a wet track. Actually, it was rated heavy. It was probably a bit better than heavy, but it was still certainly rain affected. But it was very fence-ish that day. But on other occasions, it's been close to fair. Late October, I think it was Golden Eagle Day. That was pretty fair. So look, if it's dry enough, hopefully it's fair.
Okay.
Or close to fair.
Well, we'll preview races 6 through 10. Including, we'll leave the Millie Fox, but we'll start with the Silver Slipper, which is the Group 2 for the 2-year-olds over 1100. The market has a Queen of the Ball favourite at 270, Charlatan 650, Cythera is 750, Best of Bordeaux you can still get $9, Ohi's around the same price, and then Ebha at that $10 mark. Mark Shean, any interest here in the 2-year-olds?
Look, Queen of the Ball did a good job the other day, but she did get a pretty soft lead there, excuse me. She's going to get a lot more pressure here in the race. Best of Bordeaux went about a half a second quicker than Queen of the Ball for the first section the other day, so you'd expect that she probably is not going to get as soft a run in front as she did the other day. Having said that, she was quite impressive. Look, I thought Ohi was a bit of value here. She looked underdone to me. She had the weight penalty where she gave Queen of the Ball 3 kilos and, they just jagged it back at the start there and virtually took no part the first 400 metres. So I'm going her way just at the price factor. Queen of the Ball, if it does get a decent run, obviously looks hard to beat. She's only tiny, but she's got a good motor, and Cythera did a good job. Winning on debut, got a step up to 1100 metres, but looks to land into a good spot there from barrier number 2. I'm with the fillies. Not sure where Charlattan's going to get to. He's probably the best colt, but 1100 round Rosehill and a wide draw. Not sure how far back in and how much start he has to give them.
Sure. Mark Rhoden, which form line are you going for here?
Well, on figures, I think it has to be the Queen of the Ball form line. She ran better overall time and better closing sections than Best of Bordeaux on the same day at Rosehill, admittedly off a softer pace, but still then run the faster overall times, a pretty good effort. But we have to take into consideration that day that it was close to a one-lane highway at Rosehill, and how much you factor in or how much you need to take off for that is the question. Look, it's hard to get away from Queen of the Ball as top pick, but pricing I found difficult. I've come up with a price around $3, but I don't know that I want to bet in the race because of that uncertainty about that form line. I think she's talented and the one to beat. Great ones, terrific, but yeah, it just really muddies the water for me. I thought away from Queen of the Ball, Charlatan is a very nice horse, but drawn terribly. Ebha, well, it's won a trial since blowing up on that prize track at Rosehill. Jury very much out on her, but the Melbourne win earlier was good. I thought Cythera's debut win was all right, and I agree that Ohi has a chance too, and it was a figure run first up. But yeah, can't quite get my head around this to the extent that I want to bet in it, I think.
All right, well, the first leg of the quad is race 7, which is the Parramatta Cup, and Mighty Beale's favourite at 440 from Too Much to Bear at 550. No Compromises 650, as is Punt. Then you're up to double figures. You've got Parry Sound, Nickajack Cave. Mover is next line there. Mark Shean, this race over the 1900, there's 3 horses here that are having their second start in Australia.
Look, I would never bet in this race at gunpoint. There's a different winner every week. Shortish run to the first turn. Doesn't do much for me, these races, I've got to say. Look, I thought Parry Sound probably just struggled at the 2,400 metres his last 2 starts. If he gets any sort of luck in the run, I thought he had a chance. No Compromises racing really well, but they're both drawn horrifically. Mighty Beale, probably the tempo was against him the other day. I think they ran 39.3 for the first 600 average, so he just had no hope the way the race was run. We'll get a much better run from the draw. Looked great before the race there, so I'd probably forgive him for that run. So 7 for the record, but I'm not having a bet, not taking any interest.
Okay. Mark Rhoden, any interest for yourself?
Not at this stage, no bet at this stage. Look, I'm going to monitor the price on Mighty Beale. It didn't last long, but it went up $9 in a few places on Wednesday, and that would have been a great bet. I think, as Mark just pointed out, it was given absolutely no chance first up, and then it was just a prep run. I think it was dropping back to a mile, or 1500, whatever it was. And yeah, just got back to Stone Motherless last in a walk and closed off more than acceptably. He's a pretty good horse on his day, Mighty Beale, and I think he's the one to beat here. He's around my price at the moment, so I'll just monitor him. I could back him. I think he's going to get a good run here. Plenty of chances away from him, though. Too much to bear. Hasn't been that visually impressive, but keeps getting it done and has drawn perfectly. Has a weight drop. I wouldn't back him, but I concede he's a chance. No compromise. I think he's absolutely flying, but I'd bury at 14 from this start. Can't be a plus, I don't think. On time will probably be first or second in the run and give a sight. Look, Parry Sound's last run at Warwick Farm in the Australia Day Cup, that race rated really highly with me, despite the fact that stinking old Carp Fever won it. But it was the reason for that. It was a very fast tempo, and that doesn't look like being the case here. But yeah, he's probably in inverted commas over the odds at $13, although he does look like being a long way back as well. But nothing at this stage, but Mighty Beale the one I'm going to.
Let's have a look at the Hobartville. That's race 8 over 1400. Anamoe's favourite at $1.75 from Converge at 6. Silent Impact is 7. Ranch Hand is 10. Halal is 12. Mark Shean, any interest here, or is it more just a watch and see?
Well, I think a lot depends on his parade. He was a bit off his head in the yard the other day and was just dripping sweat and very edgy. So you wouldn't want to see that again if you wanted to take the short. So I think it's definitely a yard watch race. Converge was a bit dumpy the other day. He's got a lot of improvement, and he'll probably take more control of this race. Probably with Morris as my dad if he jumps, and also Silent Impact. They look to be the 3 leaders to me. Just depends if he can make ground and whether Anamoe can get back. We saw him beaten in the Golden Rose on a biased track. So, that's a question mark of how the track's going to play. If he parades well, he's probably a $1.70 chance if the track's fair.
Yep. Mark Rhoden, what price do you have the favourite?
I'm assuming a fairish track and actually $1.70. Yeah, that's what I'll come up with. Very dependent on how the track's playing because he's likely to be second half of the field or midfield at very best, I think, and too wide with the trail if he's lucky. So they're going to need to have been making ground for him to be a genuine odds-on chance. That said, I mean, he's just ridiculously well placed at set weights against these lots. He is literally a class above them, I think. If things weren't to pan out for him, I thought it's a big class rise, but he'll be in a good spot, and he's got a base to improve. Silent Impact was a chance, but I think the market's completely priced in that potential improvement at $7. That's not screaming value by any means in my book. And then those ones that met the other day, Converge and Ranch Hand, were next best for me, but it really does come down to how the track's playing and, of course, how he parades for Anamoe. Don't think I'm going to back him anyway at $1.70 or $1.75, but certainly in no hurry to bet against him.
Okay. Race 9 is a benchmark 100 over the 1400. There's been a few scratchings. Groundswell, Ranch Hand, Mananui are all out, so Invinciano's favourite at $4.80. Matawatape, $6. Then you have Dream Circle, New Arrangement, Giannis, Skylab, all $7.50, and Bergen $9.50. Mark Shean, any thoughts here?
Look, looks to be good pace here. Bergen, Invinciano and Matawatape are all on paces, so I'm assuming that they'll run along at a decent tempo here. Look, I backed Legay Soleil last week, but I backed Invinciano in the race as well. I thought she was a little bit disappointing there. I'm not sure that I could aim up to $4.80. She looked great in the yard before the race. Maybe quick backup. Look, I've landed on 7 and 6 here. I think Dream Circle, look, he got him to 15.50, brought him back to 1100, flew home. Then he was in a fast 1200 the other day. I think with the tempo in the race here, a low draw, barrier number 3, I think he's got a good chance. And Newell Ranger is very good fresh and trial well without blinkers on. So I'm going a little bit away from the favourites here. I'm backing 7 and 6.
Okay, Mark Rhoden, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a bit the same, and I'm similarly getting sick of Vinciano. I'm a little annoyed Groundswell came out because I was thinking along the same lines. I'm looking for horses going to be suited by a good tempo. Look, I think with the blinkers remaining on, Matto Attack, he's just going to be ridden that way again because he'd been racing sort of without zest before that, and it was some improvement last week, so I don't think they can change the tactics there. And then Vinciano will be up there, and I thought even it's come out Mananu as well. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise that. Look, there's still a decent enough pace, and I wanted to be with Dream Circle definitely at the price I've backed it, and I've also backed Bergen. I thought it was a bit different when there were 4 going forward in there. I thought he might just slot in behind them from 13. Maybe a slightly different scenario here. I don't think there's any way he'll go as fast as they did at Canterbury last time on him. He'd won leading the start before at Canterbury when he was hunted across from a wide gate. They tried it again, but on the sectionals there, they just went way too fast, and he had to be run over. I think they riding a bit more conservatively, which has been his pattern in previous preparations. And if he can slot in, I think there's a chance too. But yeah, they're the 2 I'm backing 7 and 13. I think Dream Circle actually matched perfectly, and expecting a big run from him.
I'll just give you a narrative grey up stat of the day. Just quickly off the punting form data, Invinciano's backed up 4 times in its career for three wins and a third. So just to throw a spanner in the works. I'm sure it'll be mentioned about 4,000 times between now and jump time. The last race 10 is a benchmark 78 over 1,400. Is that Dageran is favourite at $2.70. Steel Diamond, Syndicato are both $8. Fine Point and Tamer Lane $9.50. War Eternals $10. It's pretty even out from there. Ulysses and Crosscheck around $13. Mark Shean, anything in the last?
Yeah, I like this favourite Dageran. Got the job done at Warwick Farm first up when he took the sit, but all his form, or his best form in England when he's been allowed roll in front on his own. And with the scratching of sentimental, he looks like from barrier number 1 that he will control the speed here. And I think he can only improve from that run the other day. He sweated up quite badly at the finish. Came into the yard okay, but he was a bit of a mess at the finish. So I think he'll roll forward and is the one to beat. Syndicato's a big query here. Unlucky in New Zealand last start and hard held in a recent trial. I think Tamerlane's the other one who was back in distance last start in a fast run race. He'll be much better suited in a 1,400 metre race, but I think Dageran the one to beat.
Okay, Mark Rhoden?
Yeah, I don't really want to bet. It's hard to get away from Dageran as top pick. I didn't quite get him as short as the market. With a pretty high race he won there. It was very impressive. I expect him to be very hard to beat, but 270 odds. A bit hard to come into for me, especially with the presence of this Syndicato. The Mailbags intern / New Zealand correspondent, John O'Rana, gave me a good push for the 4 minds around him.
Yep.
As Mark said, he was untouched really in that trial. From a good draw and Hugh Bowman on, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him run a good race. Just struggled to get my head around it. When I saw how short Dageran was, I was considering betting around it, but I can't bring myself to do that either, so I'll just wait and see.
All right, well, that brings us to the end. I'll get your best plays on the card. Looks like a good day's racing there at Rosehill. Mark Shean, I'll start with yourself.
Look, the tricky day, but I thought Ohio was good value in the Silver Slipper, and I think Nasturtium's a great lay in race number 5. I think it's been beating pretty bad horses and is up a lot in class and got plenty of weight, so I'm going to pot it at around 310, I think it is this morning. 310
at the moment. Mark Rhoden.
I'm keen on Expat in the Millie Fox. Just love the little freshen up off the mile win, which we put fire at Gosford. Had it trialled strongly. She's got a great racing style. Just gets out. She'll be either first or second in the run. I think she'll be very hard to beat. Price has shortened a bit this morning, but still backable for me. And echoing Mark's theme, I thought Marzu was value in race 5. I think Nasturtium he's never faced pressure like this, and that's very much the unknown quantity for him. I think Abel Willie's going to end up the best horse in the race, but I'd rather him at 1,200 Randwick than 1,100 Rosehill, and Marzu should be in front of him in the run. So at around 550, I think he's not a bad value there.
Yep, 550 there in race 5, number 1, Marzu. Okay, thank you to you both, and big thanks to Punting Form as well. We'll be back on Monday to review the meeting with Rob Scurry, and then we have Group 1 racing coming presently from, I think it's Randwick next week, isn't it, Mark? Good.
Actually, give me 1 sec. Yes, it is.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, look forward to that. Go well over the weekend, guys.